Hello and welcome to Piano Shack with me, Woody. You may be wondering what happened to that $6,000 synth haul that I purchased last autumn, and what are my plans for things to demonstrate here on the channel in the future? Well, all that and more coming up. Yeah, do you remember those videos where I showed off my latest purchases, all of those new and used synths, drum machines and groove boxes? Well, we haven't seen very many of those on the channel yet, and that was almost a year ago, except perhaps some failed demonstrations of this one. I hope you saw that terrible video. So why have I not got stuck into those then? Well, the thing is, there's been a lot more brand collaborations than I expected. I've been demonstrating gear from Yamaha in particular, ASM with the Hydra synth, Studio Logic with the Numa X piano, the Arturia Astrolab to name but a few. So there's been lots of very nice distractions along the way. And I have a lot of stuff incoming as well, on loan to me from Roland and Korg, but I'll tell you more about that at the end. Why don't we go and take a quick look at the stash, because I can't even remember what I've bought. Okay, before we go into the storage facility, there's a few bits and bobs here that I can show you. The TR-8S, which I really enjoy. I'm convinced this is the best drum machine ever made, with all the emulations of the 808s, 908, 707, 606. It's even got Linn drums and DMXs and stuff. Little mixer here. This I was using just as a stand to prop up the drum machine, actually. But yeah, to get it at a good working angle. But actually in here there's one of these little upside down Roland Era compacts. This is the Juno chord sequencer. Very nice unit, enjoying this a lot. More videos on this to come as well. And over here we have definitely a keeper for another few years until perhaps they upgrade it. Yeah, my beloved white Mini Malibu. It's the DGX 670. Use it every day, actually. So let's head into the abandoned synth storage facility in here. I've showed you here once before when we did a tour of the shack. This is where I keep all of my cables and stuff, and camera gear, audio gear, the stuff I use most of the time. Wall warts, of course, lots of those. Audio cables, computer cables, USB and stuff. Here we've got just power. It's pretty much all I need to make my videos. I'm not that fancy. Before we get into the stash that we have over there, I want to show you a couple of MIDI keyboards. So this is actually my favourite controller keyboard of all time. Even though I have better ones, I just love the simplicity and the feeling of the keys on this NIA49, it's called. Nice rotary encoders with great feel that can be configured in software to do whatever you want. Love it a lot, even though I have the superior model, the S series. The only drawback, a real shame actually, it doesn't have USB, it doesn't have MIDI output on the round DIN sockets, only USB. Otherwise, this is my perfect controller. I love the size. I'm a 49 key controller keyboard guy. I love the build quality of this. The keys, as I said, feel fantastic, and it's extremely compact. Obviously, it works really good if you integrate it with NI's software as well. Works also nice as a standalone controller though. So over here, I might as well show you a keyboard that I love, but very rarely use at the moment, but this is a keeper as well. I have no plans to sell this. This could be the, if I could only have one keyboard, this might be a contender. Maybe I should make a video about that. Yeah, this is the Nord Electro in the frame. Not really, there you go. There's my Nord Electro 6D. Need to play it more. Fabulous organ sounds, of course. Fender Rhodes and acoustic pianos. Clavinets, all that stuff. I did have some plans to join a band and start gigging, which is why I'm hanging on to that. Okay, let's go over to my other junk. It's raining outside, so you might be hearing some weird noises on the lav mic. It's not my tummy or anything like that. Let's set that up for you. Okay, we have the box for the boutique I showed you earlier, or not the boutique, they call these things the Era. Never know how to say it. Era Compact. I have another one here, bought this brand new because it got rave reviews. This is their Tweak Synth S1. It's like a little 4-note polyphonic Roland SH101. Very cool. I like these a lot actually. They've just released a new one, the P6, which is a sampler, and I've got my eyes out to find a used drum machine one. They call that the T8, I think. It's a combined like 303 and a few Roland drum sounds. Okay, talking of 303s, I've got the Behringer 303, which is 100% analog inside, well, maybe not 100%, but analog circuitry inside here for the sound generation, filters, oscillators and so on. How are we doing with the framing of this stuff? Ah, shit. Rubbish. There you go. There's the, let's turn the screen around. There's the Behringer 303. And it'll be interesting to compare that with the Roland 303. We have the boutique version of the 303. This one is digital modeling. There you go. I don't actually like the 303, but I'm curious to see if I can coax some sounds out of it that I do like. So that'll be the angle of the videos, I guess. And also interesting to compare these two. Pedal for some loopers. Remind me to talk about the loopers later. And since everything is out of shot here, let me fix that as well. Go up a little bit. Okay, what else do we have here? My Arturia controller, which I like a lot. Haven't been doing so many software demos recently. That was something I focused on a lot when I was living in a very small 2-room apartment with the whole family. Didn't have much space for all this crap, so a lot of software. Now we're getting into the hardware. This is very interesting. This, my friends, is the Roland Mini Moog. Yes, in collaboration with Studio Electronics. That is a very strange unit, I think. It's a boutique inside the dock, if you were wondering. But this is the only Roland synthesizer that is fully analog. Yeah, everything here is analog circuitry provided by Studio, what are they called? Studio Electronics? Yeah. That used to make rack-mounted Mini Moog clones. This is exactly the same architecture as a Mini Moog. Sounds just like one as well, as far as I can tell. So that's something I want to dig into. I've always wanted a Mini Moog, but I will never be able to afford one, but I'll really justify it. However, I will be able to borrow one. I have a... No, that's it. That's the only... I thought I had another like Mini Moog clone, but I don't think so. Everything's in the deck savers as well, which is nice. I bought a lot of this stuff used, so in many cases it comes with a deck saver. It's pretty nice, especially when storing stuff in a dusty room like this. This is the Arturia Micro Freak, which I've fiddled around with a little bit actually. This might be one of the next synths that I review here on the channel. Under that, stacking things up here a little bit precariously, we have a lovely, bought this one brand new actually on a sort of spur of the moment, but I don't really know why. This is the, well, I know why, I'll tell you in a second. This is the Novation Bass Station 2. I bought it because Boo Battery Operated Orchestra use this one in most of their tracks for the bass lines, and it sounds absolutely incredible. Fully analog, monosynth. A little Ableton controller here, which I've never used, but picked up. Okay, more stuff down here. What's this? we have a Korg monologue. Oh, hang on, what have I done with the camera here? Yeah, I'm still recording. A Korg monologue. Monologue, I think you're supposed to say. I didn't even know I had one of these. I bought it used when the opportunity came up. That's what it looks like. It'll be interesting to compare. This is a mono synth, analog. It'll be interesting to compare this with the bass station, I think. Got a good deal on it, so picked it up. I think the other stuff is the empty boxes, looper pedals. What's this? Oh, I'd forgotten I had this as well. This is the Roland Boutique SH01. Let's have a look while we're at it. Oh, red, look at that. I haven't switched this on since I bought it, so maybe we need to do a little fader wiggle, as someone told me you need to do from time to time. Gorgeous looking synth, I think you'll agree. This is digital, but faithfully emulates the sound with the Roland ACB, analog circuit behavioral modeling, or whatever they have. I knew I had another Mini Moog thing. Here it is. This is the Behringer Mini Moog, the Boog. Shall I open this one for you? I don't even know how to do it. No, oh yeah, we can do it here. There we go. Look at that. I can tell you right out the gate that this is a lot more satisfying to use. I've just sort of tested everything works. To me, the control panel feels more like a real Mini Moog than that little Boutique, which has a lot of very tiny knobs and controls in a tiny area. This is made of metal, and I think it captures the feeling of playing a real Mini Moog. Sounds amazing as well. So yeah, looking forward to doing that, and perhaps we'll keep just one of these Moog clones. Interesting to see which one wins. Yeah, I've got a grotesque amount of gear, haven't I? But I guess some of you have even larger collections than I. So the Minilog XD, actually, this is the upgraded Minilog. Remember I had the red and black one? Well, that one went back to the retailer and I changed it out for the normal Minilog, which I'll show you in a minute. But this is the XD. I've done a few little play arounds with this in my spare time, but nothing on camera yet. Here's a firm favourite. This is probably a keeper. One of the best sounding synthesizers ever, in my opinion, perhaps even the very best. The Wave State. I can't decide if I like the sound of the Wave State or the original Wave Station most. But yeah, this is just packed with useful sounds and those amazing pads as well, and those rhythmic sequences with the wave sequencing. Love this thing. I bought this one used for about 400 bucks. It's not the latest model, it's not the Mark II. And here's my, the advantage of these deck savers actually is that you can stack them up, which you wouldn't want to do if they were unprotected. That's a nice advantage. This then is the OG Minilog, which I've also done a few demonstrations of. Another really fun and nice sounding synth as well. Not sure if any of these will be keepers though. Only time will tell. And we're getting to the end of it now. Thanks for sticking with me. Here is the Akai MPC. I thought I should give one a chance. Never used an MPC before. So here is the MPC one. Again, not the latest version. I bought this used just to try it out. Real solid piece of kit. Like it a lot, but the process of learning how this thing works and the operating system is a little bit daunting. That's going to be a few weeks work right there to figure out how this thing works. Even to figure out how to put the cover on is challenging for me. And then we have this one, my beloved, and I do love this. This is the Machine Plus that Native Instruments sent over for me to check out, and they haven't asked me to send it back, so I don't intend to. This thing is fantastic. It's a standalone groove box, but the amazing thing about this is it has contact built in. You don't need to connect this to the computer. You can fire this up, run contact, even load your own contact instruments into it to some extent. It's got FM8, that's your DX7 emulation. It's got massive and a bunch of other stuff as well. Plus, of course, all the sampling capabilities, loading expansion packs and so on. So this is absolutely fabulous. And I do know how to use this one quite well, but can always learn more. And then we have a few bits and bobs in here. This is my current obsession. If I can just get these in the shot for you again, sorry. These are the looper pedals that I'm currently evaluating. I've been making some video reviews of these. People aren't particularly interested, which is okay, but I tend to make videos about whatever's interesting me at the time. This is the RC 300, I think, 500, 300. A ditto pedal, a foot switch extension thing, Boss RC1, which I'll probably be selling pretty soon because I've made the video about this now, and the RC10, which is a rhythm focused looper pedal. I've got a couple of looper pedals coming as well that I've just bought used. The idea here is I'm buying all the looper pedals available on the market, evaluating them, making videos about them, then I'll be keeping only one. I do think looper pedals are great, actually. Fun way. I've got a video coming soon, actually, why everybody should need a looper pedal, so I won't spoil that video now. But yeah, got loads of these, bought most of them used, and I will be selling most of them, but keeping only one. You only need one looper pedal after all. Here's the little mixer that everybody was telling me was inadequate for doorless jamming, but so far it's been absolutely fine, although I only tend to connect 2 or 3 synths or devices at the same time. So this video turned into more of a studio tour and all of the gear that I currently own, so not quite sure how we'll title this video, but whilst we're at it, I can tell you I've also switched from PC to Mac, mainly not because of the audio processing or VSTs or anything, just for video editing to get better performance in DaVinci Resolve when I'm editing my videos and rendering them. This is the base model Mac Mini, the absolute cheapest you can get, 8 gigabytes of memory, 256 gigs, hard drive, or it's not a hard drive, is it? It's SSD if I recall correctly. The performance of this thing, absolutely amazing. It absolutely nails the PC I previously had, which was absolute torture for video editing. So yeah, even with the cheapest Mac, I got the cheapest one because I just wanted to test it out and see if I liked it. And I do, although the operating system I'm not all that keen on. And the audio interface I use for most of my projects is this. Maybe this is 3rd generation, it's not the latest model, but this is a 4-in, 4-out Focusrite Scarlett, which does the job, like it a lot. And just to complete our little tour then, this is the SX920, which Yamaha have very kindly loaned to me for as long as I want it. That's here, the brand new SX series arranger, and yeah, the final boutique I need to master, or at least play a few presets on, the JD08. There's also a few things that I can't show you. The piano, the Numa X piano, the Hydrasynth, and currently even the Arturia Astrolab are on loan actually to a recording studio, that's a professional recording studio that's here in the area. Since I'm not using them all the time because most of my time is spent making videos for you, I don't want them just gathering dust, so they're actually being used to make some pretty cool hit records. So yes, I have a lot of gear right now, and it's not something I'm particularly happy with, to be honest. I find having a lot of gear that I'm not using all the time or even knowing how to use properly does give me a lot of anxiety and stress. As a wise man once said, I think it might be the Dalai Lama, is he from Tibet or something? He said, I think it was him, you don't own your possessions own you. And I'm totally on board with that. So most of the gear that I've showed you today are not going to be keepers. I bought them just to make video content and also to satisfy my own curiosity and have a bit of fun. I love gear as much as the rest of you, but it's not something I want to keep and clutter up and cause me anxiety and stress. So stay tuned for another I Sold My Synths. Bugger off! Whew, yeah, we were recording. Okay, so what have we got coming up? Well, I've got some interesting stuff from Roland. I haven't demonstrated much Roland over the years. Well, I haven't collaborated with Roland for many years, we can say. I have tons of Roland gear in the storage room back there, but they've told me that they want to send me as a loan just to check out, make some videos about. We have the Go Keys 3 and the Go Keys 5. Remember, I made a reaction video about those, and that video actually did the rounds amongst the people at Roland, and they decided to send me a couple. I think the name of the video was Roland Release a Kick-Ass Synth and Nobody Noticed. But this has been dragging on for a few months. We haven't actually pulled the trigger on anything, and just 2 days ago, Roland released a brand new Juno D synthesizer using the Zencore sound engine. This is very interesting to me. I'm a big fan of Zenology and Zencore. So I asked, well, if you're going to be sending me the Go Keys, why not put one of those in the shipment as well? And they agreed, so we'll have one of those to check out as well. As for Korg, they have some interesting new releases in the pipeline. They've been teasing us the new Micro Korg 2 for quite a while. I think that is incoming pretty soon. And they've asked me if I want to try one out, which I would love to do. They have, is it called the King Korg as well, which perhaps we should try out. And as you know, I have good relationships with Yamaha, and they've told me that if there's anything that I'd like to borrow, they can make it happen. So do let me know in the comments. I'm open to suggestions. Let me know if there's any particular gear that you think would suit me and that I could do justice and do a good demonstration of for you. I can pretty much get hold of anything, it seems like, from Yamaha, Korg, and Roland, and the other manufacturers as well I have contacts with. So let me know what you'd like me to feature here on the channel. In a nutshell then, lots of interesting things to come, so please do subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much in advance. Until then, I'll see you next time. Cheerio!